Hi everyone, I hope you're okay, and I really hope that the videos we keep uploading are helping you out. I'll be doing the third question, guys, whereby I'm tackling the past question papers, but I'm only focusing on Doppler effect. Please note that, guys, these questions are extracted from past question papers. I just said that. Wow. Uh, so it's very, very important for you guys to know how to tackle exam questions. So please do share this video to your peers. I believe that a thing or two I will mention here might help them to either elevate their knowledge in Doppler effect or just help them to understand how to tackle exam questions. Okay, we are told that reflection of sound waves enables bats to hunt for moths. Ne? The reflection of sound waves enable bats to hunt for moths. The sound wave produced by bats has a frequency of 222 kilohertz and a wavelength of 1.5 times 10 to the power negative 3 meters. Okay. So the bats are actually smart, guys. Like whenever it comes to hunting together, they will just produce a sound wave, and then if the moth reflects a frequency of sound which is greater than that of a bat, it will simply mean that the moth is approaching, or it's approaching, or rather coming towards the bat. But if the moth produces a frequency of sound which is lesser than that of a bat, it simply means that the moth is moving away from the bat. Are you together? So the bat wouldn't bother hunting for something which is moving away from it. Are you together? But it will just hunt for what it is coming towards it. Okay. Let's answer these questions. We are being told to calculate the speed of sound wave through air. We are given the frequency and the wavelength. I know that the product of the two will give me the speed of sound. The frequency is 222 kilohertz. That's 222 kilohertz. Whenever, guys, we deal with frequency, our frequency must be in hertz, not kilohertz. So since we are given the frequency in kilohertz, we are just going to multiply it by 1,000 so that it will be in hertz. Are you together? And then my wavelength is just 1.5 times 10 to the power negative 3. This is just equals to V. And then whenever I punch my calculator, I'll simply get the speed of 333 meters per second. So the speed of sound through air is simply 333 meters per second. Okay, then now we are told that excuse me, a stationary bat sends out a sound signal and receives the same signal reflected from a moving moth at a frequency of 230.3 kilohertz. Remember that, guys, I told you that whenever a moth reflects a higher frequency than that of a bat, it simply means that the moth is moving towards the bat. Are you together? So remember that, guys. We have the frequency listened, frequency of the source, velocity of the source, velocity of the listener, and then the speed of sound in air. This is equals to 330 meters per second. Okay. We need to know, guys, between the two, which one is the listener and which one is the source. Are you together? Right now, guys, remember that the bat is the one that is willing to hunt. So the bat is listening to the frequency that will be reflected by the moth. Are you together? So the bat is the listener, but the moth becomes the source. The reflected frequency of the reflected frequency of the moth will become the source now. Are you together? So since our bat is the listener, I know that my listener is stationary. Excuse me. So it will be 0 meters per second, the speed of the listener. Are you together? But I do not know the speed of my moving source that will be chopped by the bat, which is the moth. But I know that the frequency of the source is just 220 kilohertz, 222 kilohertz, ne? Or you can simply write it in hertz. That will be, what's 222 times 1,000? It will be simply 222 hertz. All together. And then the frequency that is detected by the listener, our listener, guys, is the bet, ne? It's simply 230.3 kilohertz, or simply 230,200, or rather 300 hertz. Let me check. 230.3 times 1,000, and that's 230,300 hertz. Okay, so this is the information that we have, ne, guys? The first question they're asking us, is the moth moving towards or away the bed, or away from the bed? The moth is moving towards. Why? Because it is reflecting a higher frequency. Now they want us to calculate the magnitude of the velocity of the moth, assuming that the velocity is constant. I know that FL, let me use a different color. From my formula sheet, I know that FL is equals to V plus or minus VL all over V plus or minus VS, all together, multiplied by the frequency of the source. So now, since I know that my listener is stationary, it simply means that the velocity of the source will be 0. I mean, the velocity of the listener, rather, will be 0. So on my numerator, I'll simply have a V, all together. And since since the source is coming towards the listener, it simply means that, guys, the velocity of my source, there at the bottom, I'll choose to use a minus instead of a plus. Why? Because the source is moving towards the listener. Are you together? The source is moving towards the listener. So my frequency, the frequency of the listener, is simply 230,300 hertz, and then the velocity, it's 333. The velocity of sound, 333 minus Vs. I have 222,000 hertz. Okay, all I have to do now, guys, is to solve for Vs. If, guys, you get this part, I'm happy, because it simply means that I'm doing a good job. You understand physics. The rest is just mathematics, ne? Okay, how can I do this? I can simply divide both sides by 222,000 first, 222,000, and then I'll simply have 230,300 divided by 222,200 is equal to 33 minus Vs, ne? And then all I have to do now, what can I do? I can cross multiply over here. But no, that's what okay, let's just cross multiply. I'll simply have 230, 300, 230 multiplied by 333 minus Vs is equal to 333 multiplied by 222,000. All together. And then for me to find the velocity of the source, I have to divide both sides by 230,000 first. So that I'll be left with 333 minus Vs is equals to 333 times 222,000 all over 230,300, and therefore negative Vs is equals to 333 times 222,000 all over 230 minus 333. And then what do I get when I punch my precious calculator? That's 333 times 222,000 all over 230300 minus 333. This will give me a speed of negative 12.001. So it's just negative 12 meters per second. Yeah? But remember that, guys, I have a negative on both sides. So I can simply divide both sides by -1. So the velocity of my source is simply 12 meters per second. The velocity of my source is simply 12 meters per second. So that's what they were just looking for. Yeah? The velocity of my source, V of the source, is equal to 12 meters per second. That's how, guys, we're supposed to tackle this question over there. Just stay tuned, guys, and wait for more.